New tonight. Today marks 1 year since a Parkersburg woman died in a side-by-side accident. 22-year-old Chloe Barre was a beloved employee at Texas Roadhouse, where friends, family, and co-workers gathered today. Our Allison Powers talked with Chloe's family and friends.
On Tuesday, February 10th, purple filled the Texas Roadhouse in Parkersburg as dozens gathered to celebrate the life of Chloe Barre.
She was our sunshine on a rainy day. She just had that charm about her. She had more charm and more wit than any person that I've ever met before.
Chloe worked at the restaurant for 6 years, starting as a host at 16 and working her way up to server.
You were not left without smiling or laughing after she left your presence, so she definitely left a mark everywhere she went.
For Chloe's younger sister, Callie, who now works at the same restaurant, the memorial was bittersweet.
We had a plan to work here together with certain reasons, like we couldn't do that, but with me working here and them still putting it on 1 year later means a lot to me.
Those who knew Chloe say she lived unapologetically, and they are honoring her memory by doing the same.
She always left a little sparkle wherever she went.
For more about Chloe's 1 year remembrance, you can visit our website at WTAP.com. In Parkersburg, this is Allison Powers with WTAP News.